So, what inspired the concept behind Field of Swords and stepping into the Middle Ages?
It's actually like part two of our last album. Our last album was called Tales from the North, and it was about the Viking era, the Scandinavian Viking era from around 900 up until 1066. And 1066 is also the name of the last song of that album. So I kind of had the idea to continue the historic journey of Europe on this new album. So it kind of starts off with around 1096, which was the time of the first crusade. It's just after the Viking era came the Crusader era. So it's that was the idea of the concept when we started to write lyrics and making the songs for the album. I think it turned out pretty cool because it's like at the end of the Viking era was kind of when the first knights started to appear, because of the how they made weapons and tools as well. Like the skill of forging iron was on its peak at that time. So it's a well documented time period as well, and there's a lot of books about it and cool movies as well.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to ask actually, because you put a lot of like historical context into the record, and clearly you're doing your research. So what is your process like to get that whole writing and the history and making sure everything's more accurate, or through movies? What's your headspace like to get all that information?
Well, I think first of all, I'm interested in history, and from stuff you learn in school as well, and the time this time period between 1096 up until around 1291, there were 9 crusades, and they've been like kind of shown in different movies, I think, and in books as well. One of my favorite books is actually by a Swedish writer, and that book is kind of about a fictional Knight Templar from Sweden that goes to Jerusalem. He's the character is made up, but the story is accurate. Like he witnessed all the events that happened during that time period, and it's like a trilogy. It's a really cool book with a lot of good historic writing, and as well movies as well, like Kingdom of Heaven, especially the director's cut from, I think it was 2005. It's one of my favorite movies as well, and that's Defenders of Jerusalem is set around that exactly the same period, the siege of Jerusalem in 1187. So I knew a lot of the historic facts about this era from before, from being a bit of a history nerd. But then, of course, you have to do research as well. But it's not. I don't see the album as a history lesson in that way. It's more like an interpretation of that time period. We wanted to get parts of what happened into 11 songs, basically. So it's reflections from. It starts off with the Pope declared the Holy War in 1095-96, kind of gathering Europe to reclaim Jerusalem, and then it started because the pilgrims had been going to Jerusalem, and the Byzantine Empire was heavily under attack from the east. So we wanted to make like a story about the 9 crusades that happened during the time period. And the song "The 9 Crusades," which ends the album, is kind of a summary of the period.
I love how like just mixing different medias together into like one whole cohesive album. And you also have a collaboration with Brittany Slays for the 9 Crusades, actually. And how did that come together, getting her involved?
We had actually been thinking about having a guest appearance on earlier albums, but it never really turned out in the end. It's we had a few songs that could fit, like be a duet. And this song, we felt like when we had the pre-production and did some recordings on it, it's got a lot of space, and especially in the verse, like we felt like it could be divided up into 2 different voices. And also it needed like a storytelling voice as well. And Brittany is actually, Fredrik had some contact with her from before as well, and she's been a fan of our band, and we really liked them as well. And then we met her as well on this summer on a festival. We played with them, so that was really cool. And so we decided we were really impressed by her live performance as well. She's an amazing singer. She's just as good live as she is on the albums. So we asked her, and she gladly accepted. So that was really cool. And we had the lyrics and the melody lines, and I think she did a great job. And she's got a deep voice with a storytelling quality to it.
You nailed it right there. Like, she's very good on record and live. So I'm glad that you found a collaboration with her. And this release actually marks your first with Napalm Records. How has that partnership been like so far?
That's been really good. Our previous label, we had done the albums that was in the contract, and we've had some contact with Napalm over the years because they've been at festivals and they've shown interest of our band and asked us, if when we will get available and stuff. So that was really exciting when they gave us a great offer, and it kind of gave us a bit of new energy when we're writing the album as well. So it's been excellent. They seem very good, and we already knew some of the people from the label as well. So that was really nice.
I didn't see that you guys have any touring plans. Like, do you have any plans in the works?
Yeah, it's in the works. It looks like we're going on tour in March, middle of March roughly. We don't have the dates set 100% yet, but I think it should be announced any time now. That's I'm really excited about that. Playing some of the new songs live, and that's a really great time to go on tour as well in March into April, and it will be centered around the center of Europe, around Germany and countries around Germany. So in the spring.
Gotcha, European tour. And is there a specific song from the record that you're most excited to perform live, or is it just any one of them?
I'm looking forward to play Defenders of Jerusalem live. It felt like that when we wrote the song as well. Like, it's kind of a live song. It's a mid-tempo and a catchy kind of song with a sing-along chorus. Of course, there will be a few other songs as well. So it's always nice to have new material on the live set.
Something like this, I could see you guys and Unleash the Archers on like 70,000 Tons of Metal and doing a surprise guest
appearance. That would have been, sounds cool. Yeah, hopefully we can do it in the near future.
That would be great. Now, aside from the tour in March, do you have any personal goals for the band for next year?
I think it would be cool to play Wacken Open Air in Germany. So we'll see it's not anything written yet about that. But we played the Wacken Full Metal Holiday on Mallorca, Spain, just a few weeks ago, and we met some nice people from the Wacken organization. That was a really cool show to play as well. It was on the beach on Mallorca, an island outside of Spain. We actually played an acoustic version of Defenders of Jerusalem on the beach.
Oh, wow.
That was strange. It was the first time in Bloodbound history playing acoustic on the beach. And then we had the show later in the evening. And there was a lot of people swimming around in the swimming pools. And so, yeah, it was very nice. It was cool. And warm weather. In Sweden now, it's starting to get really cold. It's getting cold and dark. In a few weeks, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to have snow and total darkness.
It's that season. And then hopefully the summer festivals will start again.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a good time to, have to write new material, to focus on some recording and stuff. In the winter, the only thing you can do here is basically go skiing or that sort of thing, ice fishing.
So you're already starting to work on the next record?
We have some ideas, write songs all the time, but some material will end up on the next album.
This year actually marks about 20 years since Nosferatu was released, your first album. Looking back, how has the band evolved the most since then?
It doesn't feel like 20 years, but when you say it, it's a long time, but it doesn't feel like it. I think we've kept the Bloodbound sound pretty much the same, I think, over the 20 years. We did our album Tabula Rasa, I think it was released around 2009. It was a little bit more progressive, but then we got back again into the more traditional sound. We kind of wanted to polish that traditional European power metal sound and make it a little bit more modern. So that's what I think the musical journey is. And we got a good start with the first album, Nosferatu, because when we sent out demos to record labels, it was around 2004. We got quite a lot of offers for that demo from record labels. So we got a good start on our first album. We had some lineup difficulties and changes in the first few years, but in around 2010. Patrick and Anders, singer and bass player, joined the band. I think that was around that time that we felt like the band was really stable and we had a good platform and we have a good songwriting team.
And have you learned any specific lessons along the way that shaped the new album now that it is today with getting everything together?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot about discipline, really. That's one thing that I think we're pretty good at. Like we set up deadlines and schedules. If you're going to make an album, it's very easy that it takes a long time. So you really need to be focused and disciplined to set up goals. Like if you want 11 songs on an album, you need to have deadlines for, when the lyrics has to be ready and that sort of stuff. So I think we've gotten a lot better at the whole songwriting process. And of course it comes with experience as well.
Deadlines and structure is always helpful. And, talking about 20 years, it's Bloodbound may not have changed off the course, as you said, much. And the time frame may not feel that long, but the power metal scene in general, has that changed or expanded, or what's your take on the genre itself in power metal?
I think it's a little bit strange, the genre, in a way. It kind of was born, around in the mid 80s with, of course, Keeper of the Seven Keys album by Halloween, and then a lot of bands popped up. So it was a long time ago. It feels like it had its peak in the mainstream, but I think the genre has become a little bit of a classic genre kind of lives on the side of the mainstream, which is both good and bad, I think. But that's one of the strong things about the genre as well, that seems like it has proven itself it's going to stick around, which is pretty cool, I think.
My last question for you is there just anything else that you wanted to say or add about the new album to your fans for them to know?
Yeah, I think it's one cool thing is that if you don't know much about the time period, it's if you read the lyrics, you get some hints of important events that happened during the Crusader era. So that can be something to you can research a little bit if some song or some lyrics or something gets stuck in your head, then it's got a bit of, you can do some bit of backtracking and see where it was, the idea of the song and where it comes from. That could be an interesting thing to do.